Hey everybody, welcome back to Champion Sons and our Formula One series as we continue through our season. And have we got a heck of a race available for you today as we are going to be in Belgium for the Belgian Grand Prix here. And this is kind of a difficult weather day to predict, really. It's a little bit rainy or overcast right now, so that should play a minor impact in our tires, getting them heated up to where we have the proper grip. Now, later during the race, it should get a little bit sunnier, and during this track, it's got some multiple elevation changes in it. So the tires, hopefully shouldn't be too much of an issue. The downside to it is there's a lot more straightaways than what our car is set up for. Now we have added in some of the new power units. We've made the upgrades that we have needed. And so we can see that, I think we're going to be running a lot better. We had a great qualifying round. So we are set up in a good position to be able to make some moves and hopefully at least come away with a podium in this race. Now, we are not going to be on the pole for this race, but we will be starting in second as we go ahead and take a look at the starting grid. And for this one, we did grab the pole. For some reason, I thought we got second. Guess I misread that screen before. But Bottas and Hamilton with Mercedes. And then we have Albon and Red Bull Racing there in fifth. Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris coming in at 10th and 11th, or 9th and 10th, respectively. And then our teammate coming in absolute last. So it's not ideal to be that far away from your teammate, but it is what it is. So here on this cloudy day, we are getting this race started, and this is going to be a tight little turn as we hopefully can get a good start off, and we do actually get the jump on Bottas. We hit that turn a little too tight, not really go up on the curb a little too much more than what I was wanting, but that did allow us to block off Bottas from being able to make a pass as we jump out to a pretty quick lead. And you can see some of these turns, like I say, our car is more meant for a track with a lot of turns and less straightaways, because we don't have as powerful of an engine and setup as Bottas has. As he comes in on the inside of us and actually bumped us a little bit, so we hit that corner a lot harder. And then he comes in and almost bumps us again on the side. And so this racing is starting off pretty dang, I would say, aggressive. But we're needing to hold our line and have some good laps here. We do start out with the soft tires. We are going to have, I believe, at least one stop in it. This is only a 22-lap race, so we are planning on just a one pit stop to get us a new set of tires, assuming it doesn't rain throughout. It is supposed to get sunnier in the day, but we'll kind of see how that one holds off. Now here we got the lead on Bottas, and us actually being able to cut those corners off has really helped out. And our power package, I think, has been excellent in getting us kind of a new, I would say, outlook on racing here. We saw in the previous races what can happen when you just don't have any type of power comparable to some of these other cars, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, all of them. Right now, we've got that, and we've got, like I said, there's not as many turns as we normally like, but it does look like with this power package, we are actually able to take advantage of coming out of these turns and getting up to speed a lot quicker, which actually helps us to spread out that gap a little bit as we claim the fastest lap here, maintaining our first place position, coming in there to the first turn. Now, Bottas is just about a second behind us. If we can time it out right to where we come out of some of these turns as Bottas is going into them, I think that'll actually help us increase the gap between our two cars. But right now, this is definitely looking like our race to lose. We are going to have to be perfect with it because they do close in on us during these straightaways, so we are going to have to keep a watch on that as we get through these laps here. Now we're on the second lap. We do have first place, and we do have the fastest lap so far. If we can kind of maintain this pattern, I think we should actually be able to do pretty well. We are going to have to time out our pit stops, I think, though, pretty effectively. And if we can minimize damage, but swinging the car out that wide near these walls is going to be a tough thing to do at these speeds and the way I'm kind of driving this car right now. You see, we swinging out wide a little bit, and that's it's not the most efficient way to get the race done. But we need to make sure we beat out any type of possible weather near the end. They said it's supposed to get sunny in the middle, but back to being cloudy and rainy near the end of the race. So we're going to experience a whole gamut of weather conditions today in this one. And think about it, we're only on the second lap. We're keeping actual pace with our previous lap. So these turns that we're able to actually grip and then coming out of them, the way we are able to get off the brake and actually hammer it through and extend that power, that has really helped us out in creating this type of lead. As you see, it gets cut down drastically. Coming into some of them that we do hit a little bit too hard, but coming out of them, we're able to get that jump. And you can see right there, we knock off a couple seconds, getting the fastest lap once again. So now we're going to be here in the sixth lap of the race, and the clouds have cleared at the time, but my goodness, we're starting to slip and slide a little bit all over. We should be heading into the pits pretty quick. Our tires are getting a little worn. We do have the soft tires right now, and so 6-7 laps is really all you want to get out of them. They do start to lose some of that traction. As you can see, we take another turn just slightly too far out there. Now, we do have a few second lead at this point, so if we can maintain this, especially coming in with the pit stop that we have coming up, if we can maintain it, it'll actually allow us later on in the race to take it a little bit easier on our second set of tires. But we're going to go ahead and continue to push these pretty dang hard as we get closer to the pits, and we're going to go ahead and pull in and get these tires changed out so we can continue this race. Now, we're the first team in the pits. It does look like most other teams are going past us at this point, so we're going to have to hopefully extend our next set of tires out pretty well beyond us. Bottas does go out, but his teammate Hamilton comes in the pit, and Hamilton's generally their primary of their team, so he will go in first. Now, since we did not have any damage this time, which is kind of a rarity for us, we come out of the pits. We are actually only going to be in 5th place right now, so we didn't drop all that much. Downside is Bottas and the couple guys in the lead have a pretty decent, hefty lead over us. So we're trying to catch up to Sebastian Vettel right now of Ferrari, who's about 2.5 seconds. But I need to get used to playing the long game. My normal issue with these tracks is trying to push it too hard in all reality. Formula One, just like any other racing game or any other racing generally, it is a long haul type of thing. You can't make your move, at the immediate second. You have to kind of push it and time yourself properly, so we don't have any type of damage to the car. Which some of these turns is going to make that a little rough. Because like I said, we upgraded our power, so coming out we got a lot better of a jump. But when you compare it to some of these other cars, we still just don't have that type of power to win consistently these one-on-one races with these cars. Now it looks like Sergio Perez and Sebastian Vettel are kind of battling up in front of us. So if we can keep them battling with each other, that'll actually help us out and allow us to close that gap between them and maybe even pull off a double pass. I'm not exactly sure if we'll be able to. We'll have to wait to kind of see how that one works out. But as long as they continue to fight with each other, they'll force each other essentially to kind of slow down in the end and give us that opportunity to make a push up for that 4th or even 3rd position here in this race. Now, we do hit these brakes hard, a little harder than I like to do, but we come out of it unscathed. Now, Vettel and Bottas actually go into the pit, so that does leave Albon ahead of us in the Red Bull Racing, but he's still on his original set of tires. So I know he's going to have to pit. He does still have the soft tires. In our pit stop, we went on ahead and made the move to the hard tires. So hopefully we can make it to the end of this race. And our tires are still getting a little used to the track, getting a little warmed up. They still feel a little slidey, and they don't have the grip that I really want out of them. But we're able to get this closing speed on these worn-out tires of Albon here fairly quickly as we come in about the 4th or 5th turn of the Belgian Grand Prix track. And on that, it's just buying our time. We know we have to be patient. Cannot rush this. We cannot afford to have any damage done to the car. It's really what it amounts to as we hammer our brake hard on this turn. Albon making us slow down quite a bit. Now, Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz are both behind. They're all 3 behind us right now. as they are kind of battling with each other. So they were catching up for a minute, but since they kind of started picking a fight with each other, they're dropping off a little bit, maintaining about 3.5 to 4 seconds behind us. And so we're still coming around, trying to chase down Albon. But like I said, I know he's going to have to pit, and so that'll be fine if we can just get him to pit in front of us. That should allow a pretty smooth transition without having to risk too much damage to the car. And coming around some of these turns, it's tempting. I really want to hit some of those inside of the turns. Makes me feel kind of like back at the NASCAR racing game, just shove your way in. And the only thing is they don't move out of the way in this one. You put yourself in, they will bump you, they will hit you. So we cut to the inside, slam the brakes hard on that one, avoid any damage. There he goes, Albon into the pit. That turn was horrible by us. And Norris closed by almost a damn second, if not a little bit more, as we hit around that, hit the line and start lap number 9 here. But we are back in P1 on the hard tires. Norris, Kvyat, and Ocon are behind us now in 2nd through 4th, respectively, with Bottas there in 5th. But Norris, Kvyat, and Ocon are still once again on their soft tires. They are on their first set. They have not hit the pit lane yet. Albon, I have no doubt, will be passing them shortly as we check our rear, and there's no one in sight. But Albon's going to be coming. So if we can actually use them to block him off for right now, if they can actually block out Bottas and give us a healthy lead, I think we can use that to our advantage because we're not stopping anymore. So that'll allow me to actually do a little bit better in wearing down these tires to prevent the wear on them and maintain first. Like I said, this is our race to lose. Okay, you know, we're on the hard tires. We've been on them for a couple laps. We're looking at about 7% wear, knowing we have 13 laps to go. You know, they'll probably be in about the mid-30s on the percentage for wear, so not too much to deal with. Now, oddly enough, Roman Grosjean drops out of this Grand Prix. It looks like he had some car trouble. You know, too bad, too sad for him. That's life. As we continue around the track, Norris is now solely in 2nd place. He's about 3 seconds behind us. Kvyat, Ocon still blocking. All 3 of them are still blocking Bottas off, which is just helping us out that much more, as they've all kind of dropped down to about 7 seconds. Kvyat through Bottas, and that's just that. This is a dream come true. If we can have an open track in front of us and just drive smart about it and not wreck out, we should be good, and I think we can hold our position here through the rest of this race. And now we are going to advance up a little bit to the 20th lap, where we do have the lead. We are on the final 3, and we are maintaining our lead. You see, we have a 7-second lead over Bottas. At one point, it was about 10 seconds. Ocon and all of them, Kvyat, they were still battling behind us for a few more laps, which actually spread that gap out to around 10 seconds. So by the time they did go into the pits at around lap 11 or 12, you know, he's made up some space. Don't get me wrong. It's been about 8 laps, and he's made up a few seconds. And so they definitely still have more speed than what we have, but we were able to use them to get this lead, and if we can maintain it. I've only got about another 2.5 laps. If we can have some good driving in those 2.5 laps, we can actually claim a win for us, another win for us here in this season, our very first with this car. The more wins we get, the more money we make, the more we can upgrade this vehicle. Now, Bottas has already cut some time off. A little bit, and so is Hamilton. Hamilton, I think, is way too far back. You know, 2 seconds, 2 laps, 2.5 laps to go to try to make up 6 seconds. It would be dang near impossible. But we are being careful with our tires at this point. I don't want to blow anything. Don't want to go sliding into a wall and knock myself out of it. We've had a good, solid race here. The sun is still shining, so no clouds did come over. So we have definitely got that working for us. And this has been a hell of a day, maintaining this clear track in front. Solid driving, hitting all these corners. Normally these tight corners like that generally be a little bit harder to do, especially if you're using a controller as far as the shifting goes and actually maintaining the green path during the turn. But those actually have been pretty decently handled for us. And so we're in a prime position right now. Coming into this little segment, which always makes me feel like I'm out of control, Those three little turns right there, we hold it tight pretty much all the way through that, and about as perfect as you can expect. Like I said, Bottas still making up time. I mean, look at it; it's just dripping away. But hey, just about a lap and 3/4 to go. He ain't making up 6 seconds, and 1 lap and 3/4 just ain't happening. I know it. He knows it as well. Just got to hit these corners smooth. Just got to be smart about it. Hopefully nothing gets blown. Our new engine components are holding up extremely well for us. We've got them fitted. Our upgrades to our aero package, our power package, has really been helping us out here during this whole race. Ooh, that one kind of swung out wide a little more than what I like to. But not too much damage done, so I think we're good to go there. Almost hit the grass on that one. I keep checking out where we are in the standings and seeing that time tick away. We're coming up into getting ready to start the last lap, and I said 6 seconds and 2 laps was almost impossible. Well, Bottas has potential to do it, as he's at about just under 4 seconds now behind us, which he was only 7 seconds behind us at the start of lap number 20. And so we're on lap number 21 of 22, coming into these final few turns here as we come across the finish line in just another 2 turns. If we can hit these good, that final lap, we're going to have to maintain ourselves. But I think we can walk away with the win. It looks like the clouds are starting to come back over, so the track is going to cool off, but our tires, they are well worn. They have got plenty of grip on them, so I can't be too concerned about that. Too much, at least. As we hit that first turn of this final lap, 22 out of 22, the 3.9 second lead over Bottas, 7-second lead over Alexander Hamilton, 15 over Charles Leclerc, and almost 20 seconds over Sergio Perez. And so we come into this, and looking behind us, the track is clear. I think we're good to go. Just continue to hit these turns and hope to God no lap traffic comes up in front of us, because they will slow us down big time. That'll give Bottas a little bit of a second win that he may need and could probably use to his advantage here in this final lap. So our strategy has paid off. We did the one stop, started on the soft tires, went to the hard, stopped almost before everybody else, and that has really worked for us and paid off. Everything we've done so far. Ooh, took that turn out a little too wide. Got to be careful of that. All right, now the lead is only at about 2.5 seconds, and it is getting shorter by the turn. We've got to hurry up and get across this finish line. We're well past the halfway point of this final lap, so really only looking at about a few more turns before we have to call it a day. There's 2.8 second lead right now, and we should be able to hold it up. About a final third of a lap to go here in Belgium. Trying to get our second win of the season. This is what we're able to pull off. If we can maintain these final few turns, just don't do anything stupid. Hold them a little wide on that one. But here it comes, the finish line right in front of us. And we've done it. We claim the Belgium Grand Prix as ours. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. First place, and just in the nick of time. One more lap, I'm not sure we would have been able to hold off Bottas. That was a great finish. They give Verstappen the driver of the day because he had that 10-position penalty at the start and was able to move up into like the top 6 or something. But enough about him, more about us claiming victory here in Belgium, our second victory of the season, and that is what really pays off when you start making sure your car is upgraded and outfitted with the best parts. That is something I'm going to have to keep an eye on as we go forward here. And we're going to take our spot at the top of this little presentation. We'll take that trophy. Thank you very much, good sir. You point to the crowd. Where's our Champagne? There it is. Bottas and Hamilton have to spray us down because we are the champions. We are number 1 here in Belgium. This was our time and this was our race, and we held it all the way through, beginning to end, fighting off Bottas and being able to keep our position. So let's see what the good old media wants to ask us now. How are you feeling after that win? How am I feeling? How do you think I'm feeling? Team R2, they put in a lot of work getting me here. Yeah, we're going to give the team the credit. That just helps out the acclaim. It really works out better for us from what I've kind of discovered. Things are looking up after last week, aren't they? Yeah, last week we did have some issues having to replace that front wing, having an extra stop. I think we definitely did good in our powertrain department. Like I said, all the upgrades they were able to pull off for us really, really helped us out. You only underestimate the team when we're in sync. Yeah. Give the team props. All right, that will do it for this race. I will see y'all in the next one. We have claimed our second podium finish. We have finally finished off Carlos Sainz, hoping that, oh man, 29 out of 30. Okay. So one more race, we'll finish off Carlos Sainz. How about that? I'm hoping that we can actually go ahead and get another podium. We are over halfway through with the season as we come down to the close of it. It should be a heck of a race to try to really end up being one of those mid-tier teams, which is actually a big step up for a brand new one here in Formula One. So with that in mind, definitely hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And if you like Formula One in the episode today, definitely give us a thumbs up as it really helps out the channel. And we greatly appreciate everything that y'all do for us here at Champ and Sons. So I will see y'all in the next race. I'm actually going to simulate up to Sochi in Russia. So I'll see y'all in that one. And until then, everybody, stay safe. And well, you guys know how it goes. Later, y'all.